Well, welcome again, everyone. I'm Herman Staats. If you don't know me, I'm the director of the Developmental Core. And today what I'd like to do before we have our presentations for this session is just give you a little reminder of what the Developmental Core does, our services, and some progress we've made over the past year, and then end with an announcement, as Kent mentioned, that we'll have an RFA coming out soon. So the Developmental Core, we provide pilot funding for small grants. We contribute to faculty recruitment, as you heard Kent mention already, and we also provide mentoring services. So the small grants that we provide, you must be a faculty member. The research must address an NIH HIV/AIDS research priority, and the small grants can be up to $60,000 in total costs for 1 year. Aim 2 is our faculty recruitment, and CFAR partners with departments, centers, and institutes to support recruitment of faculty involved in HIV/AIDS research. And our third aim or service is our mentoring service. We will help you develop a mentoring plan if you're a junior faculty member. We will also provide grant review training. So when we have our small grant review meetings, you may attend that meeting and observe a study section. And we also provide pre-submission grant review. So if you have a grant application, whether it be an R01 or an R21 or anything else, if you are interested in having others review that and give you feedback prior to submission, as long as you get it to me in enough time, we'll make sure that we can get that reviewed for you. So some of our progress over the past year, I just briefly want to highlight some of our successes. And in Aim 1, our pilot funding, we had a partnership RFA between Duke and UNC related to PrEP, and that led to Mary McKellar and Lauren Brinkley Rubenstein getting their proposal funded on the Criminal Justice Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis Study, PrEP Knowledge, Acceptability, and Initiation among Parolees in North Carolina. The CFAR also was proud to recognize some supplemental grants that were awarded. Yvonne Mowry had a proposal funded on head and neck cancer treatment in people living with HIV, measuring outcomes and toxicities to develop a standard of care. And then Shanita Randolph had a proposal funded titled A Qualitative Study to Examine the Feasibility and Acceptability of a Beauty Salon-Based Intervention to increase awareness and uptake of PrEP among Black women living in the United States South. We also had microgrants funded this year. Microgrants is a new funding opportunity that we came up with to provide up to $20,000 for 1 year for faculty level CFAR members. And this microgrant is a mechanism that allows us to fund faculty that need to generate preliminary data for a grant submission, or provide bridge funding for a scored but unfunded NIH grant, or funding specific experiments that are requested by manuscript reviewers. So again, we're trying to put this money out there to further your publication and grant success that will lead to more support for the HIV/AIDS research community. I'm not going to read all of the titles here, but Maria Blasi, Lee Wong, Nicholas Heaton, Mari Shinohara, and Julius Wilder were recipients of microgrants for this past year. In faculty recruitment, Kent already mentioned some of this, but later in this session, we'll hear these three give their presentation in this session. Tierney Richwood, Priyamvada Acharya, and Tui Lee. We'll hear from them in a few minutes. So welcome to Duke and welcome to the CFAR. And we will have a small grant RFA released soon, probably in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. This will be a full RFA for the $60,000 award will be released soon, with the due date sometime in December and funding decision made in early 2019. And as Kent mentioned, Sally has left her leadership role in the CFAR Developmental Core due to other activities, but I also want to acknowledge and thank Sally for her efforts and work in the Developmental Core. It was great working with her. I still work with her on some other projects, so she will be missed, but we really appreciate her efforts. And I'd also like to welcome Susanna Nagy. Susanna's here somewhere. There she is. I look forward to Susanna joining the Developmental Corps as the co-director. I've known Susanna for a long time and have also worked with her on some of her grant reviews, and look forward to having her in the CFAR Developmental Corps. So welcome, Susanna. And if you have any questions or comments about the Developmental Corps, and as Kent mentioned, any needs for the future as we plan to write this renewal, please let me know, and we will try to do the best that we can to support the CFAR members at Duke. So that's all I had for introductions to the Developmental Corps and our progress.